Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to page 2 of the Chapter 8 study guide. All right, given the shapes are similar, solve for the indicated value. So we're solving for y. ABCD is similar to TSVU. So that means the 25.5 goes with the 17. 25.5 over 17 is going to be equal to the sides. So 3y plus 6 over 3y minus 3.5. All right, if you flip these or set it up a slightly different way, it is okay. You might just get your work will look a little different, but your answer will be the same. So let's see, we're going to cross multiply. So 25.5 times 3y minus 3.5 equals 17 times 3y plus 6. Leave the parentheses around these so you don't forget to multiply and distribute. Calculator. All right, 25.5 times 3, 76.5y minus 5.5 times 3.5, 98.25, 89, excuse me. 51y plus 102. All right, let's see. I'm going to subtract 51y from both sides because I don't like negative numbers, and add 89.25 to both sides. So I'm doing two steps at once because I have already run out of space on this page. So that goes away. That goes away. So let's see. 76.5 minus 51 is 25.5. Y equals, let's see, 102 plus 89.25. 191.25 divided by 25.5 divided by 25.5, 7.5. You can always also plug that back in and make sure it works. For the sake of time in this video, I am not going to do that right this minute. But on your test, if you've got time, plug it back in. Make sure it makes sense. All right, these are a little harder to figure out what goes with what. So here's your trick. They don't have, usually you can look at the letters. Well, they didn't give you any letters. So what I'm going to have to do is look at these. So across from the angles is an X and a 6, which means X and 6 are going to go together, which means 5 and 11 are going to go together, which means the 19.8 and the 9 are going to go together. All right, so because like these are opposite the vertical angles, we know those are going to be equal to each other or proportional to each other. All right, so I'm going to do this one over this one. You could do it whichever way you wanted. 19.8 over 9. And I'm looking for X. You could have done 5 over 11 as well. It wouldn't matter. The X over 6. If you had wanted to, you could have set it up as 11 over 5 equals X over 6, all going to be the same proportion. At the end, does not matter. So my shortcut on this is I multiply these two and divide by the one that's left over. So I have 11 times 6 on one side and 5x on the other. So 11 times 6, I'll make sure that's times and not a decimal. 66 divided by 5 is 13.2. I'm going to try it with the 19.8 just to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. Yep, 13.2 again. Great. So either one of these methods would have worked. Or you could flip them. There's more ways to write it. All right, so I have a little triangle here and a big triangle here. So I'm going to actually just move that big triangle out. I'm going to redraw it out here so you can actually see what's going on. Let's see, it's got a top of 12 and a side of 6. 4 plus 2 is 6, all right? And then my little triangle is my 3, 2, X. I'm not going to need the 3 because there's nothing here to help me. So let's see, I've got, I'm going to go ahead and also redraw my little triangle so I can keep up with it. Right, so now these proportions are a little bit easier to see. The X and the 12 go together, the 2 and the 6 go together. It doesn't matter which way you write this. So let's see, if I say 6 over 2 is going to be equal to X over 6 over 2. It's going to be big over little, Mayhew. 12 over x. It's just going to be 4 because that's times 3 times 3. Or you could have done 2 times 12 equals 6 times x. So you're going to 24 divided by 6 is 4. Determine if the triangles are similar. If so, list the reason. Okay. We have parallel lines. Whenever you have parallel lines, you can add some angles. So I've got this angle equal to this angle. I've got this angle equal to this angle. And technically, we also have this overlap angle right here. So this is angle similarity. And then I know WUV is going to be congruent, or similar to, excuse me, triangle EUD. Order matters. All right, let's see. Okay, so we've got angles. And then it looks like it might be an SAS. So let's see if that's going to work. Side angle, side similarity. Let's see if these are in proportion. So the 14 is going to go with the 28. The 5 goes with the 10. And those both reduce to 1/2. They both equal the same thing. So yes, these are similar. It's side angle side. So let's see, what order did it go in? WUX is going to be the same as UTV. Done. All right, let's check all these proportions and see if they reduce to the same thing. Looking like they will. So the 13 and the 26 go together. Doesn't matter which one. And the 15 and the 30 go together. Well, 13 over 26 is 1/2. 15 over 30 is 1/2. So yes, this is going to be side, side, side similarity. And N, L. All right, is going to go with what? I can't tell. It's either going to be OQP, or PQO, because it's hard to tell which direction that's going, right? Like they didn't give us anything else to go by. So one of those two, they're both correct. All right, yet again, this is looking like it'd be side, side, side. So let's check all of our proportions. All right, if you can't tell which one's which or how this has been flipped, the easiest thing to do is the long with the long. So I've got 24 over 36. Let's see, divide by 8. Yeah, it's going to be, no, that doesn't reduce. 2/3, or 2, yeah, it's 2/3. Divide by 12. Come on, Mayhew, you can do that. Okay, and then the medium's going to go with the medium, the 20 with the 30, so 20 over 30 also reduces to 2/3, so far so good. And then the 8 with the 12, 8 over 12, divide by 4 is 2/3. So yes, this is side, side, side similarity. Now remember, if one of these had not equaled 2/3, this would not be similar, okay? You got to check them all. Let's see, ABC goes OPN. All right, is this angle? Well, two of the angles have to be the same. So let's figure out the third angle. So 180 minus 76 minus 48, because it might work. 180 minus 76 minus 48 is 56. This guy's 56 degrees. That is not 56 degrees, right? 180 minus 76 minus 63. That right there is 41 degrees. So no, these are not similar. You cannot write a similarity statement. The angles are not all congruent. All right, looking like side, side, side again. Let's check these proportions. When it's hard to tell. Long with long. So 6 over 3.6. So what's easier to do when you have these decimals is, do they come out to the same decimal? All right, so 6 over, so that's 1.6 repeating. And then medium with medium, so that's the next one, that's the next one. So this has also been reflected. 3.5 over 2.1. is 1.6 repeating. So far, so good. 3 over 1.8. 1.6 repeating. All right, so you could not say 1.6 repeating is the scale factor. Yes, it's right, but scale factors are written in fraction form, so we'd have to change that to a fraction, but they didn't ask you for the scale factor. It doesn't matter. This is side, side, side similarity, and PQR is going to be congruent to, so it went PQR, so that's pink then green. We got to go UTS. Come back for some more proportions.